Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely incredible story of cross-cultural integration. We're going to unpack this totally remarkable case study of a human teenager named Evan Carter and, well, his very unexpected alien exchange student, Lyra. We're going to explore how their unlikely bond bridges this massive, seemingly impossible gap between cold, calculated logic and the beautiful, unpredictable chaos of human emotion. Right out of the gate, we have to talk about this quote. It comes directly from Lyra herself, and it completely sets the stage for our entire narrative, because it challenges the absolute boundaries of logic that her species relies on. What we're looking at today is a deep dive into the sheer, unbridled power of human emotion, and how something as simple as feeling can literally reshape the destiny of two entirely different worlds.
So let's jump straight into Section 1, the alien exchange student.
Okay, picture this. You're 16 years old. Your name is Evan Carter. You come home, and there is a shimmering silver pod parked right next to your garage. Out steps Lyra. She's tall, pale blue, has glowing silver eyes, and she's been sent by the government of the Theory colony. The scope of this top-secret arrangement is absolutely massive. She is officially assigned as Evan's integration partner for exactly 6 cycles. The stakes? Well, in exchange for hosting Lyra and teaching her our daily human routines, Earth gets advanced, clean energy technology. Talk about pressure, right?
Now, Lyra's early attempts at blending into Earth culture happen unbelievably fast. It's a wildly rapid, highly literal timeline. By hour 1, there are official briefings with guys in dark suits. By night 1, she's already unpacking these glowing crystal discs in Evan's spare room and stiffly inquiring if she should initiate small talk. And then day 2, she is thrown right into the deep end, attending Ridge Valley High School.
The immediate culture clash here is, well, it's pretty hilarious, honestly. Lyra tries to apply her cold, robotic logic to the incredibly messy environment of an American high school. For example, she actually critiques a biology teacher on the efficiency of human cell division right in front of the class. She memorizes internet slang but gets the context totally wrong. She literally tells Evan, "Respect, bro," when he sneezes. And my personal favorite, she walks up to Evan's best friend and asks for a mutual bond for data exchange instead of, just saying hello.
Which brings us to Section 2, Logic versus Human Emotion.
As Lyra spends a little more time on Earth, the stark contrast between her world of pure data and our world of feeling becomes completely undeniable. Just think about how we view food. To her, human consumption defies all logic. She scans a cafeteria burger and just sees nutrient-poor substances with way too much sodium chloride. But Evan, he eats it simply because it tastes good. This little interaction prompts a huge realization for Lyra. On Earth, taste actually overrides logic. It's her first real glimpse into how we prioritize experience over pure efficiency.
She starts to see humanity not just as a chaotic species, but as a deeply resilient one. She watches Evan and his friends, and she hones in on this profound contradiction, laughing through pain. This sparks a genuine, authentic desire within her to figure out how to be human. She shifts from just quietly observing data to actually wanting to understand the human condition.
This evolving bond is perfectly captured in one really quiet, powerful moment in Evan's garage. He plays an old guitar for her and defines music not as a vibration, but as a feeling you can hear. And as she listens, Lyra closes her eyes and experiences her very first real sense of warmth in her core. It's an emotion her highly advanced species doesn't even have a word for. It's just a beautiful breakthrough.
Moving right along to Section 3, the meaning of choice.
So naturally, Lyra's emotional awakening does not go unnoticed. When she reflexively uses her telekinetic abilities to defend Evan from a bully, the video goes viral. Her governing council immediately freaks out, deems these developing human emotions a contamination, and issues a recall order to pull her back to orbit. But Evan refuses to accept this. He argues back that the very thing the alien council fears, these emotions, are actually the essence of life itself. They aren't some bug in the system, they're the feature that makes existence worthwhile.
As Lyra prepares to be taken away, absolutely terrified of losing her family and her status, Evan introduces her to the ultimate human superpower, the power of choice. He tells her point blank that she doesn't have to be what her programming dictates. She can choose her own path. And this concept, it completely shatters her rigid alien worldview.
This idea of choice sets up the ultimate test. A month goes by, and Lyra secretly returns to Earth with a terrifying warning. Her council now believes that emotion is contagious. Because members of their fleet are starting to feel things, they are coming to memory wipe Earth to stop the spread. Which leads us to a massive question.
Can human emotion actually stop an alien invasion?
And that takes us into Section 4, the Silver Hill Broadcast. Now the stakes are through the roof. Massive triangular vessels are darkening the sky, and human military jets are proving entirely useless against alien shields. Evan and Lyra realize they have exactly one option: race to an old radio tower and broadcast a final desperate message directly to the alien fleet. They execute this incredibly dangerous plan in the middle of a howling storm, dodging alien drones. They climb the tower. Evan hotwires the rusty old control box with trembling hands, and Lyra literally channels her ship's energy through her own glowing veins. She risks absolutely everything to prove to her people that understanding us is possible.
Through that radio tower, she broadcasts a defining realization to her entire fleet. She tells the Theory Council that emotion isn't a weakness to be purged, it's the next step in evolution. She is fundamentally challenging the core philosophy of her entire civilization, using her newly discovered human courage to just stand her ground.
This is her ultimate mic-drop defense of humanity. She tells the fleet that humans suffer, we fail, but we rise again, and we love even when it defies all logic. This defense is so incredibly powerful that when the Council fires their weapons at the tower, the energy actually curves around it and disperses into the sky like fireworks.
And guess what? It worked. Through her courage and Evan's unwavering support, they pull off the impossible. The massive ships pause. The Theory Council, hearing her broadcast, is divided but deeply intrigued by this whole concept of emotional resilience. They decide to halt the memory wipe and observe humanity further before passing any final judgment.
When Evan asks her if they really just stopped an invasion, Lyra just looks at him and says, "You stopped it by believing." The survival of Earth didn't hinge on military might or advanced lasers. It ultimately came down to a single human teaching an alien the sheer, unquantifiable power of belief. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the human part. With the global crisis averted, Lyra is ordered to return to the Council. But this time, she's not going back as a prisoner. She is officially appointed as their ambassador to humanity. Her final assessment of our species is a complete 180 from her initial programming. She recognizes that the very things her species viewed as chaotic flaws, our recklessness, our total lack of pure logic, are exactly the traits that make humans so extraordinary. She fully embraces the beautiful messiness of human nature.
Right before she leaves in her transport pod, she hands Evan a glowing energy crystal so he won't forget her. Then, she asks him about this strange, heavy feeling in her core. Evan defines it for her. It's called missing someone. It hurts, but it also feels good. And honestly, it's the ultimate proof that Lyra has truly, deeply learned what it means to be human.
So as Evan is left standing there watching the stars and holding a faintly glowing crystal that beats like a heart across the cosmos, we're left with a pretty profound thought. This story really highlights the raw power of our own emotional energy. So I'm going to leave you with this to ponder. If a silver pod landed in your backyard tomorrow, how would you explain the chaotic, painful, and ultimately beautiful reality of being human?